Let's spend a moment to think about how we would tag your products and what kind of tags might make sense. I made this little spreadsheet here for you to kind of give you some examples. So the first category, or the first example, list of examples of tags, possible tags that you could use would be tagging your products by interest. So for example, dog would be tagged like this, cat, horse, teacher, beer, jewelry, and so on and so on. So this is kind of our classic niche tracking, niche tagging, where you group products together by interests, by what people are interested in. Okay, that's pretty obvious. So that's interest. Now you could also tag, and at the same time tag your products by type. Okay, so here are some examples for that. And by the way, if your tag starts with pp underscore or with rrtrack underscore, doesn't make a difference. They're treated exactly the same, but there you have some different examples, and you might come up with a different meaning for your pp underscore and rrtrack underscore, like that. Okay, so let's go over to the next one. Maybe you have products that could benefit from tagging them by the color, right? So these are some examples for this. Maybe you have your products organized to where they actually make sense for certain age ranges or gender or family event status or something like that, right? I'll give you some examples here. So another example, another really good use for tracking tags is a functional use. In this case, we've created this tracking tag for products that are not supposed to be included in the catalogs. So I'm going to explain more detail on that purpose later. Another good example would be, for example, let's say bestsellers. I'm going to talk more about that later, and you don't need to figure out all of the tags to begin with. I just wanted to give you some ideas of how to think about the tags and how to segment your products in your store. The purpose here is to create extra data that is useful for segmenting audiences. Now, before we move on, let's take a quick look at the rules for the tracking tags. We recommend that you do not use blank spaces in any of the tags or special characters. That can lead to different problems with Facebook and with the different use functionalities of the tracking tags. And you need to start the tag either with this format, rr underscore track underscore, or instead of using that, you can also start it with pp underscore. That's another option to start the tags. These tags are going to be used exactly the same way. So there's no functional difference between starting it with pp underscore or starting with rr underscore track underscore, but those are your two options. So let's go ahead and set up our tags in the store, and let's run an example of the tagging system that you could use. So in order to do this, you go over to your Shopify store and you go to all products, and here are the products in this particular demo store. They're a rather hodgepodge combination of different things, and you might have more consistency in your store, hopefully. This will make it a little bit easier on your part to do what I'm about to show you. But let's just look across. So for example, this product right here is a piece of jewelry, and so is this jewelry box right over here. So what you could do here is just click these two products and then go to the bulk actions and go to add tags. And now you can just type a tag name here. Let's say we're using this formatting option, rr underscore track underscore, and then we can use whatever we want. So I'm going to put jewelry here. Notice I don't use a blank space in it like this. Not a good idea, because in some features on Facebook with the catalog feed where those tracking tags are used as well, you might run into functional issues when you do that. Also, try to avoid any kind of special characters, anything like that. Just limit yourself to letters, numbers, and dashes and underscores. So I kind of like to use underscores if I wanted to segment the subsegment the tag like this. For jewelry box, I would do it like this, for example. But for this example right now, let's just keep it as this here, and this is going to then be applied to the two products that were checked. Okay, so good. So we got one tag set. Now let's see what else we can do. So here, these shirts here, they happen to all be kind of very similar, and even this flowy tank, they have something to do with drinking or beer. So for these, I'm going to do the same method here, use the same method of add tags, and I'm going to add a beer tag here. Now in this case, I'm just going to use the other formatting. Now I'm just doing it this way because to show you, I'm just doing it this way to show you that the first parts here, however you format that, is irrelevant, but you just have to use one of them. So I would encourage you, if you want to use multiple dimensions of tags to segment your products in different ways, you can use this and attribute a meaning to it, right? So you could use all tags that you use to segment one way and call them all PP, and all tags that you segment another way, you start them at R track. But there are different ways to do that. You can also just use all PP tags because they're shorter and easier to manage. So it's totally up to you. They're equivalent and are treated absolutely the same within Trackify in all aspects. Okay, so this is the beer. This is the beer niche. Now let's go to some other examples here. So for example, this here, kitty, and this flowy shirt actually also have something to do with cats. So we're going to do that the same way here. Add tags, and I'm going to go for the cat tag like this with the PP formatting. Okay, so we got that. Now let's just go for another type of tags. Let's just select all the mugs here, and let's tag them with mugs, with mug tags. All right, like that. And same way, add tags. So you get the gist of it, right? So we're going to put PP mugs. All right. And you can go on and on. So you get the idea. I explained in the spreadsheet in step 1 to think about it in your store, how to best segment your products so that they result in good data that will allow you to segment your audiences and leverage that data better on Facebook, on the machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms that are built into that.
So now when we come over to Trackify X, you can see here in the tag screen, as soon as you get some traffic to these products that we've just tagged, the tags will show up right here. So if we do that again, let's visit this product right here. You can see Facebook Pixel is firing and it generates the tagged product, the tagged data right here. So there are 3 tags that are on this one. And when you come back to Trackify and you refresh the stats in the Trackify analytics here, then it will pull in immediately the counts of the tags that have been fired. And you can see here how many hits you had on each tag. Now these are counts, these are not necessarily users. And one thing to keep in mind is when, for the purpose of gauging your audiences and what you can do with these audiences and what kind of events and what tags you can build audiences for, you have to keep that in mind, that these are events, not necessarily unique users, okay? And for audiences, the numbers might vary a little bit, but here's the point. The point is you can now go in here and for each of the tags, inspect the different event types and see how many events you have. And as soon as you have a significant amount of events for that particular tag and for this event type, then you know you should be in a good position to build a custom audience, to do some retargeting, and also to use that audience for leveraging lookalike audiences. And we'll show you in a separate video much more about this. But this is the cool thing about Trackify Analytics, that it gives you an immediate guideline on where to go for custom audiences and where to go for leveraged lookalike audiences. You know, which tag to use and which audience type or which event type. So let's do one other thing here. Let's just add this to the cart and fire some more events. So here's some add to cart events for this product. We'll also generate a initiate checkout event. And then we'll go back to Trackify and refresh this data again and see what's going on here. You should see the updates here on the add to cart counts in just a minute when that comes back. Yeah, here you go. So the 3 tags that were added to this particular product that we just added to the cart have been added here, and the counts have been updated. You can also, so these are the main events here, right? View, content, add to cart, and purchase. Those are the events that typically matter the most, but you can also inspect all of the other events that have been fired. You can see here's the initiate checkout events. So when you pop up this little arrow here, you can see all of the other events that have been fired. So here's a view cart event for this one, no purchase event yet, but an initiate checkout. And let me actually take you into a store where there's a little bit more busy action going on, so I can actually show you how this works in action once you ramp it up and once you leverage the data where you have grouped the products properly, like I showed you before. You've grouped the products, and therefore you can leverage the data together and lump the data together of multiple products that are of interest to the same audiences. And you can then segment and separate different audiences that are interested in different products, at different niches or different product types. That's why it's so important to really spend a moment to think about how you want to tag your tracking tags on your products, the products in your store. Now here's the thing, in Trackify X, you can actually use any tag. So even any existing tags that you had on the products before you installed Trackify will show up in this tag list. However, the tracking data here will not show any past tracking data, because really the tracking data on the Facebook pixels, even for the existing tags in your store, has only been generated since Trackify was installed in your store. And that's why it's so important to use Trackify as soon as possible to generate the special data for you. So even if you don't quite fully understand how to leverage this data, once you have gained the experience and gained the experience with Facebook ads and gained the understanding, you will be happy that Trackify has already set this data aside for you and started generating it on your pixels. Okay, so the most important part is spend some time to think about how to tag your products and then go back and do that. And then from then on, Trackify is just going to generate the data for you, and then you can go in here later and leverage it into audiences and into awesome audiences that will really perform well and help you with scaling all of your Facebook ads. Once you have added the tracking tags, you can assign other pixels to the tracking tags so that you can isolate the data of your winning products, your winners in your campaigns, into separate pixels so that they don't interfere with each other. And to do that, you simply just go back to the pixel engine. And in the pixel engine, you can add more pixels here. You just simply select your ad account. You select the pixel you want to use, and then you select the niche tag pixels as pixel type, and that will bring you up this additional box here. And here you can now just look for your tags that you just added. You can add it like this. You can also add multiple tags to the same pixel. That's also a good way to kind of combine different things that may be related to each other. So rather than having to add multiple pixels to different tags, you can do it this way, where you just combine different tags into the same pixel. You can add this one. Let's do that. Let's do another example. So let's do another example. You want to make sure that no pixel is assigned twice, and particularly not so that they, in a way that they fire as a master pixel and also as a tag pixel. That you can't do that. You're going to get problems with that. So you could put the cat pixel in here, and who knows, maybe the mugs pixel. So, you know, that's up to you how you want to structure the pixels. The main purpose of creating and using tag pixels or even collection pixels is to filter the data and actually segment the data physically so that you can run different niches, different demographics, completely different, so that they're unaffected by any ads that are, you know, maybe testing out a different demographics or testing out the same demographic but a product that isn't a proven product yet. And so rather than mushing all your data together and getting all this data into the same pixel, you segment the pixel data that is successful products from unsuccessful or unverified, untested products. And particularly when they have different demographics, it can make a really big difference. So think about it like this and really continue the thought process of tagging your products with then the thought process of, okay, which data should I just simply eliminate and isolate onto a separate pixel and use a separate pixel for that. So this is how this works. And you can see now when you add these pixels, this here, it shows you what type of pixel it is. And then if it's not a master pixel, it'll show here the context and it'll list the tags that you've added here.
Let's actually take a quick look at one of the mugs in the store so you can see how this works now. So let's just go to this product, for example. We attached the mug tracking tag to all of the products that have mugs. And so if we go to the product page, so this here is the pixel ID that we've assigned to the pp_mug tag. So currently we have only one pixel in the main setting. There's no pixel in the secondary backup slot that fires for all products. And this pixel here fires only for mugs. So let's counterproof that. Just go to a non-mug product here real quick. Check Facebook Pixel Helper. And you can see only the main pixel fires here, not the additional niche pixel that we assign to the mug tracking tags.